RuneScape Classic is a beautifully weird and awesome game. While on the surface it looks like RuneScape, underneath is a whole other beast.
Holy shit, 6 HP, Jesus fucking Christ.
This series is a reboot of one I began working on back in 2017, but with the announcement of the closure to the official servers, I stopped playing. Last year I discovered RSC Preservation, a private server that serves as one of the only true one-to-one recreations of RuneScape Classic. I decided to reboot and restart my journey. My goal is to not only complete Legends Quest, which gives us access to the Legends Cape and Dragon Square Shield, but to also kill KBD, which serves as the only boss monster in the game. We have a long journey ahead of us as the requirements for Legends Quest are quite steep and will take us some time to complete. I want to say thank you to all of you who have tuned in to watch me as I progress through the game. With that being said, let's get into it.
Alright guys, so I mentioned this at the end of the last episode, but this is just me selling off the rest of my low-level herbs. I figured I would throw it in here at the beginning of this episode because it's a really nice milestone. Alrighty, hell yeah. Now how much are we gonna have now? Our first 250k, holy fuck guys. We did it, we made it! I'm just kidding. Alright guys, so last episode I mentioned the Boneyard, which lucky for us, looking at the wilderness map here, does actually exist in the game, and looking on the wiki, we actually can bury big bones in the wilderness, which surprisingly as far as I can tell is gonna be most likely the fastest way for us to train prayer. Now we only need 37 prayer for paralyzed monster, but I definitely want to get that before we fight Elbark. I'm not seeing much on the mini-map. Getting pretty close to the Boneyard. I will scope it out. It's actually crazy. I was just reading some trivia about RuneScape Classic Prayer, and apparently nobody ever achieved 99 Prayer before the introduction of RuneScape 2. Now I'm going to be honest, because the amount of XP to get to level 99 is the same in both games. I literally cannot imagine how much that would have cost somebody. I mean, we could do the math here with the prayer calc, right? So 99, you'd have needed 217,000 dragon bones. That's double the gold bars that it took me to get from 68 to 99. So honestly, you don't even really need to go that far with prayer. I mean, literally the last prayer in the game is protect from missiles. So the Boneyard is a really interesting place. While it is really good prayer XP, the wiki says we should get about 3,000 XP per hour. To be honest, you're probably not getting that. The problem with the Boneyard is that there's these level 31 skeletons all over the place. And in RuneScape Classic, everything is going to attack you in the wilderness, and I don't think there's any timer for them to stop attacking you, which means that we're locked into combat with these skeletons for at least 3 rounds. And even though I'm wearing black armor and have a pretty decent defense level, they can still hit 3s through my armor. So one thing that I realized while I was here is that I was losing way more health than I was getting regenerating or getting back. And I actually don't even know if health regeneration is in this game, so we were just losing a ton of health, and I had to find a solution for that. Now here's the thing. We could make anchovy pizzas. The bandit camp is there. We'd have to fight our way through the bandit camp. So here's the thing, we could make pizzas. I actually didn't know the bandit camp was there. So that is a possibility here. So I just wanted to add this in here that I think bandits are not a bad way for people to make money on RuneScape Classic. There's not a ton of people that play on this server, and I think if most people found you out here, they probably wouldn't bother you. We're not risking anything. You can see we're protecting the rune longsword and our armor. So if you came out here with Addy, you'd be able to, your defense would be a little bit better. Also, the amount of gold they drop is actually pretty decent. All the other items can be sold here to the general store. We can make pizzas here, so we could essentially survive infinitely here. I would love to see what spending an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours here could do as far as money goes. I know a lot of people do those kind of videos for old school RuneScape, but I think it would be really interesting to see what we could do as far as bandits go for RuneScape Classic. So I made it back to the Boneyard. I did have to fight my way out of the bandit camp, and actually it was way harder to get out than it was to get in. I think I only fought like 2 people on the way in. I had to fight like 3 or 4, different combat situations just to get out. Alright, let's see what kind of hits we're going to be taking on these guys. Honestly, if there's pizza supplies in the Cook's Guild, we could go there. But honestly, I'm decent defense, and I have full Addy armor on now, plus the Amulet of Accuracy is going to give us better aim. I wish I had a Rune Battle Axe. Oh, he TP'd on my ass. But that's okay, because you know what does matter? Is that we just got a massive upgrade for our account. Let's get a nice little zoom in on that. Here we are, folks. The Rune Battle Axe. So let's take a look at the big difference between the Rune and the... It's got 64 power, 47 aim, so not as good aim. So there's a big difference. So it is worth us wearing the Ami to get our aim back. So we lose 2 to gain a ton of power. So the Rune Long has 49 power, Rune Battle Axe has 64. So really good power as far as
So guys, I just wanted to interject here for a moment. I had a completely different plan for this video, which was just me training prayer up to 37, but I wound up scrapping it in favor of something else. So somebody brought something to my attention that I had completely overlooked while I was training at the Hill Giants, and that was questing. There's only a few quests in RuneScape Classic that give prayer XP, and one of those quests is Holy Grail. I decided to stop what I was doing. I think I made it to 34 prayer, and based on the wiki, it actually tells you what level prayer or how far in prayer you need to get to hit 37 when you do Holy Grail, as I assume that most people that are probably doing Holy Grail are probably trying to get to 37 prayer themselves. So you need 33.37 prayer, so 33 prayer and then about 33 or 37% into level 33 prayer, and if you do Holy Grail, that will get you to 37 prayer. Now, not only does Holy Grail give us prayer XP, it actually gives us defense XP. So this means that we should be roughly around 40 defense by the time we finish Holy Grail. Alright guys, so it was at this point that I realized that not only was I going to have to do Holy Grail, which is not a short quest, but not a terribly long quest either, but I realized that one of the requirements is completing Merlin's Crystal, which I completely forgot about as far as the King Arthur Camelot questline goes. So this is when realization set in for me.
Completion of Merlin's Crystal. Should I have it done yet? Well, here's the thing. We're going to need to beat this quest anyway to be able to do Heroes Quest. So, well, it certainly would have been worth it for us to grind for 45 magic at this point now, wouldn't it? Yep, definitely would have been. Oh well, not the worst thing that ever happened to us. We'll just we'll just gingerly walk all the way over to Camelot, which is not the worst. But anyway, we need to complete Merlin's Crystal to be able to start Heroes Quest. And my goal is to complete every quest in the game and do Legends, because I'm pretty sure to do Legends quest, you have to complete every other quest in the game, if I'm not mistaken by that. Because I'm pretty sure this requires like, what, 107 quest points? I actually don't know how many I have. I think it should tell us here, right?
Alright guys, so we've made it to King Arthur to start Merlin's Crystal. I don't really know what to call this quest line. I just call it the Legends quest line. It starts with Merlin's Crystal, Holy Grail, Heroes Quest, then Legends Quest. And Legends Quest is the penultimate quest in RuneScape Classic. Gets you the best in slot cape, allows you to wield the best in slot shield, and completing Heroes Quest is going to allow us to have the best in slot melee. Now, there's no dragon armors besides the shield and the medium help, so best in slot armor is going to be Rune Plate Body, or Rune Chain with like steel gauntlets or Clang's gauntlets. So guys, I got lucky that somebody on the server who actually watches my videos, which I want to say a big shout out to everybody on the server that watches my videos, they actually came to help me distract Aaron so I could get on a ship. But that's when I realized that I had messed up the quest, and I was actually supposed to talk to Lancelot about how to actually get to the LaFay mansion. So we're going back to Camelot to talk to him. Thank you to the guy that came and helped me. I don't remember what your alt account was, but I do appreciate it. There's a lot of people that run alt accounts on the server. So I just wanted to say a shout out to all the people that have helped me out for the quest.
I forgot to talk to Lancelot. Fudge. Alright. Alright, not the worst thing, you know, it is what it is. The wiki is great. It's not always the best, but...
So we found Lancelot. He tells us how to get to the LaFay mansion. Now that we finished talking to him, we're able to stow away on the ship as long as somebody's distracting him. So I appreciate the person who came to help me with that. And that takes us over to the LaFay mansion. This next section is not really that hard. It's just there's a lot of enemies, and the problem becomes that anytime there's a big mob of enemies like these renegade knights, you're stuck in combat for 3 rounds. So sometimes just being able to run past is not exactly an option. So I did wind up having to fight them, but that takes us to the Mordred fight. So all we have to do is just kill Mordred, and then Morgan Le Fay will come and have us spare his life. Now, I actually kind of messed up this part, and I guess I was prayer flicking Steelskin or something, and I clicked when she comes up. So I actually had to kill him again to get her to respawn, so I could proceed with the quest. So it's just something to think about if you're doing it. I don't even know if prayer flicking works in this game. I just wanted to see if it would work. So guys, I realized I messed up the audio while I was cutting it together, so I just deleted it. We're going to be doing a voiceover for the whole thing. But now we're getting the beeswax. We use the insect repellent on the beehive to get them to leave, then get the beeswax. Now we're going to be trading that for the black candle, which is, I think, the last thing that we have to get. We've already got the bat bones from killing one outside of Morgan Le Fay. Now we're here to talk to the lady. This will start off the part of the quest where we go get Excalibur. Then we have to go to Port Sarim, and that's going to allow us to get Excalibur. So I'm not sure what happened to the portion of me going to Port Sarim, but all you have to do is give her a piece of bread when you get there. But we're here at the Chaos Altar to get the incantation.
Snarthon, Kendrick, Termanto. So we should just go ahead and recharge our prayer points. How about that?
Alright, so we've made it back to Camelot. There's a little pentagram back here to the right of Camelot Castle. All you have to do is, I think you just light the candle and drop the bat bones there, and the demon will spawn. You tell him the incantation. Bada bing, bada boom, that's it. The quest is done. I actually thought we were going to have to fight him, but nope. Simple as that. So once we're done with this quest, it's on to the Holy Grail. So guys, then what we do is we go upstairs, use Excalibur on Merlin. It'll free him from the crystal. You have to make sure you right click, use the sword in your bag on the crystal, and that'll then we come over here, talk to King Arthur, finish the quest, and then we get through Merlin's crystal, through Holy Grail. I kind of skipped a bunch of stuff because it's not super important. It's just us going around and grabbing things, and I didn't want this video to be super long, like probably around 15 minutes. It's really about as long as it needs to be. I felt it was relevant to show you guys how to cheese the fight. I used Fire Strike. You just get a Fire Staff, Mind Runes, Air Runes, and then you just Fire Strike him. You run back to that spot there. You can see he can't go past a certain tile, so I'm glad I brought magic with me, because originally I was just going to bring arrows to do ranged, but I don't think it would have been enough. Fire Strike worked pretty well. I did have to go into melee combat once to figure out how much HP he had, because if you hit him and kill him without killing with Excalibur, he'll regen his entire health bar. So I think I got him to around 4 hit points, and then I just went into melee with Excalibur on, and then eventually it hit. So then we have to go find Percival, who's supposed to be the new king, and talk to him. You have to prod the sack in the Goblin Village. Just go through his dialogue till he tells you that he'll meet you there, and then we simply just have to make our way back, which is not super fun. You do have to go past the poison scorpions again, but it should have only taken like 1 or 2. I don't even think I used a second cure poison. So, and then here we are. We got the Holy Grail, and then it's simply going back to Camelot, talking to King Arthur again, and then we'll complete the quest. And there it is, guys. Talk to King Arthur. Cool 3 prayer levels and 3 defense levels to give us a beautiful 37 prayer And unfortunately, 39 defense. I guess I must have just miscalculated it when I did the math in my head. But that's going to be it, guys. I didn't want this video to be too terribly long. I thought we got quite a lot done. The next video is going to be the finale for Dragon Slayer, which is going to be awesome. I mean, that's going to be super quick. Probably not even a 15-minute video, if I'm being honest. I thought about adding it here, but had a lot of quest stuff to do. I could have cut more out of the Merlin's crystal quest, but I cut a lot more out of Holy Grail because it was really a lot of the same stuff. Figured you guys probably didn't want to see me running around grabbing stuff for like 20 minutes, so thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.